So let's talk about a quarterback that's going to be available, guys, because we looked at the people who were cut, going to be traded potentially to see who's available, and we got an obvious candidate here, a new option at quarterback, a new option. And we talked about him earlier in this offseason when free agency was coming around. We said there's a guy we could see potentially being someone the Giants will look at, and that's Jameis Winston, Mr. King Crab himself. Very crabulous with his crab legs. As long as he plays, he'll always be known as the guy with the crab legs. He will always be known as the guy with the crab legs. But yeah, Jameis Winston, it's been said he's going to be cut or traded by the Browns at some point this week. So he's not officially cut, and he's not officially on the free agency there. But that's what at least the rumors are. And
yeah, rumor has it.
30 years old, guys. He's not that old especially for a quarterback. I mean, he's still got probably 4 or 5 years left of what would be considered his better years.
His
at that point.
prime, if you will. But I don't know
prime,
what you would. I don't know if you would call what. I wouldn't call what he has the prime in the NFL, but he's. We've talked about him before. He's an actual challenge to the starting role. He could be a guy that comes in here and throws a monkey wrench and some quarterback play.
Yeah. But I mean, here's the question that you run into: is do you want to go ahead and potentially put in a guy that could challenge for Daniel Jones's job? And that's what the big thing is. So I look at him as he'd be a legit challenger to Daniel Jones. Drew Lock is not a challenger to him. Just flat out not. Tommy DeVito, not a challenger to Daniel Jones. Jameis Winston, and I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, guys. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a challenger to Daniel Jones, who himself is not a great quarterback. And to me, Jameis Winston's a guy who can come in, push Daniel Jones, try to get him to play a little better at that point there, because sometimes that's what you need. You need a legit competition, So we haven't had any legit competition for Daniel Jones since he's been here. So, you got a guy now who can come in, maybe try to rework his career at that point, because let's be honest, his career has not been the best the last couple of years he started over in Tampa Bay. But that was years ago. He's been a couple of years in New Orleans. Now he's, at training camp in Cleveland. And now he gets a chance to go to, another team and potentially try to start something up. And the Giants are a great place to do that.
Yeah.
Because let's say Daniel Jones starts the season, okay? Doesn't look good. There's already whispers of Joe Shane and Brian Dable need to succeed this year for things to happen. And for their job to continue past this season. If Daniel Jones doesn't look good, guys, who's coming in? DeVito? Locke?
Yeah.
Now, Jameis Winston, again, not saying he's a great quarterback, but he's a quarterback that slings it, has no problem throwing the ball down the field, and imagine him chucking the ball down to Malik Neighbors.
Or Hyatt or, Wandell, insert talent that we have in this room. And like you said, he's a guy that, when he was in New Orleans, when he was, down in Tampa Bay, he was a guy that, he'll throw you 4 touchdowns a game, which is Giant fans will love to see. He's also the guy that would probably throw you 4 interceptions at the time.
Interceptions were down a little bit in New Orleans. They were percentage-wise, it was definitely down a little bit. Not that it was ever great, but don't forget, before Dable got here, that was the issue with Daniel Jones as well.
Yeah, and listen,
interceptions and fumbles.
There's other quarterbacks in this league that have, in the past 5 years, changed around the gameplay with the right quarterback coach and right, coach in, if you will. Looking at you, Gino. you go from getting a punch in the locker room.
Just the place where magic happens with quarterbacks right now, but look at
could be
Wilson post them. But I think Jameis Winston provides that perfect medium where he can come in. You don't have to put him as a starter right away. He doesn't have that resume where you go, okay, this guy has to start. But he's there good enough to go, all right, Jameis Winston, you sit here. If Daniel Jones doesn't look good, maybe you get a shot at some point in the season. Drew Lock is not a guy that I could sit there and say that about. I would actually rather see Tommy DeVito at quarterback than Drew Lock, because at least I can go, okay, he's young enough for us to take a look and see what his future is going to be. I feel like I already know what Drew Lock's future is. It's not great.
He's a stepstone. Yeah,
Drew Lock is Drew Lock is a backup in this league. He's not a starter. Just point blank, not. Jameis Winston has been a starter. He's also led the league in touchdowns, by the way. Granted, he also led the league in interceptions that same year, but still.
Yeah.
I would rather watch a guy sling the ball down the field and hope for the best than see a guy do 5-yard dink and dunks and we're out before he even hit midfield.
Exactly. I was about to say.
That's what I feel like it's going to be with Drew Lock.
And it's not like you have the safety net anymore of Barkley. Yes, we do have Singletary, but you're going to have to, we can't. Our gameplay is going to be different because of the value positions we have. They're different. Mm-hmm. And you put Lock in there, it's not like Barkley's going to make him look better because Barkley's also not there. We have Singletary. Can Singletary step up and make a difference? Is Neighbors that good of a receiver that we've never seen in NFL play? Take a single snap. Can he go and get all those yak yards to make Drew Lock look good?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And it's
at least with James and Winston.
When I say that, I just think that I'm so down on Drew Lock that I just have no. And this is before that bad preseason game he had against Detroit. For the record, guys, I've never been high on Drew Lock. I think he's a decent backup quarterback in this league, and if you have to start him for a game or two because of an injury, he will not embarrass you. I just don't think he's good in a long-term position as far as a guy that you can have, just come in basically and, take over and you go, okay, thank God we had Drew Lock. He's just not that guy. Jameis Winston could be. Jameis Winston, the question is not, is he better than Daniel Jones? It's, is he better than Drew Lock? And if he is, which I think he is, Joe Shane, you should be picking up the phone right now to Cleveland, saying, what does it take to get Jameis Winston here?
Take Lock in the 7th round.
He gets cut. What does it take? Listen, I would trade Lock for him. I don't think anybody would do that. They already have DTR, who's their backup quarterback. That's why Jameis Winston's available. So it's just not who they're looking for, guys. So
if you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.